We are learning how to self-care. This is going to be life-changing for you guys. We're learning from Womanly, our dearest friend Alexandra. She's been with the stream since the beginning. We've been loving her videos from the very beginning. Was it the very beginning? Well, really early on, we saw one of her, what did we see? We saw toes from fugly to fabulous. And we very much enjoy that, and we're enjoying these too. What's up, Buttercup? I'm back. Hey!
This video could change your life.
Oh my god, I'm super excited. Hey, what's up?
When I was younger, I used to rely a little bit on stuff to make me happy.
Don't use stuff and
it wasn't really actually relying on it, but it was kind of like chasing the idea that there was something that would do that for me because I never actually felt satisfied.
Guys, listen to her, all right? There's nothing that you can get that will satisfy you. Why are we getting so many crazy teachings from these beautiful women? Thank you very much for teaching us this. There's nothing that you can add to your life that will satisfy you. You can't do it. There's nothing there. You'll never find satisfaction ever. So stop trying. And then you'll be yes. Alexandra, thank you very much. I love it. I love it so much. Thank you.
With the things that I purchased.
You'll never be satisfied with the things that you purchased. No. Tell me more.
I ultimately thought that I would figure something out. There would be some kind of item, and it would be like, oh, this one's the one, you know?
This is the next
one,
of
I always
course.
felt really clever because I kept up with all of the coolest bloggers and all of the coolest new shops and stores. And eyeshadow palette releases. God, so many eyeshadow palette releases, and each one was like the promise to make me feel beautiful and happy. And I really thought that this was a way of...
Was that a real color? Mossy? You put green on your eyes? Who would do that? Who would do that?
Take care of myself. Self-care, shall I say. And then one day, for one reason or another, I fell into the deepest depression of my life. It was a real experience for me because there were days where I was literally in bed, immobilized by a feeling of pain. And it wasn't like every day was the same. I was kind of feeling like this dull ache for months on end. And some days I was really high functioning. So I'd take on like a really big project and I'd be like, if I have enough coffee today, I'm going to kill it.
Oh my God, guys, don't take any drugs. Coffee's really bad for you. Caffeine, not even once, all right? It's really bad for you. But if you're feeling down, be sure to text a friend or something and say some sweet things, and maybe you guys can talk it out. I mean, you can't really talk it out. You don't talk it out, right? But you can sort of talk to help you get through these bad experiences. If you're sitting in bed alone and she said she's like an invalid. Did she say that? She didn't say that. She said she's immobile. If you get immobile, just talk to your friends. Friends are nice and stuff and cool, and people are cool and friendly, and yeah, I hope everybody's well and stuff. Don't be depressed and stuff. Don't be depressed. Yeah, depression is not cool. Don't do that. Don't do that. Be happy and stuff, and be nice and friendly and things and cool. Yeah. Okay.
Ultimately, some days I could, but some days I would just break down and end up crying. That was really hard to live like that. I had no real way of taking care of myself.
It's so hard, guys.
And so that means I was like desperate to find things that would make me feel better, feel good, even just for a moment. But those habits sent me right back in bed.
Did you hear that? Those habits send you right back into bed. Boys, listen, again, she's telling us when you do these things that make you feel fine temporarily, they are karmically negative. They're putting you back into these habit patterns which make you feel bad, which put you in the bed in the first place. Listen.
There was something that I always knew, even when I was going through really hard stuff. And that
also, how is she acting so well? Who... Is she an actor? Like, she's crying on command for these videos? I mean, I guess I don't know how long it took for her to do this, but man, wow, convincing.
Was that it wasn't actually supposed to be like this for me. And I knew that accessing peace was completely possible, even though I didn't know how to do it. And so, well, fast forward to now, I've become a complete self-care junkie, and I'm feeling so much better on a daily basis about
that's super nice.
Everything.
Look at that, she's doing a little bit of yoga.
Alexandra. I feel like
Alexandra.
You've never seen me before. This is my series called Womanly.
We like your series very much.
How to self-care.
And I do want to comment.
Now the constant
Alexandra, womanly. Men also like the program, okay? It's not only about women. We want to be included too, okay? Include men in women's spaces. All right, yikes. I don't know what I'm saying. Don't listen to the toxicity. Just strike that from your mind.
Things that are gonna make you happy. I realize that doesn't actually work.
Never works.
You're always gonna be human, and you're always gonna go through hard times, and that's what this video is about. It's about understanding that that's true, but having a system in place, or several, to put yourself back in a position where you feel in control.
Side note. I mean, I'm not sure what kind of video this is in particular. This orange, man, she's got really cool skin, but the orange is like too much, too red, too orange. It's very super clash. Not necessary. She didn't ask for us to comment on this. I mean, it's a beauty stream. We're commenting, all right? We're commenting on it. That's a little clash. A little bit of a clash there. Little clash. We even learned from her, particularly her, about matching skin tones with the little clash. Side note, not relevant.
Peace.
Calm peace.
As you do this again and again, you transform.
I agree fundamentally that we want calm and peace, but I feel like I'm not. I don't think I'm exuding. I'm not exuding calm or peace at the moment. So, but I encourage calm and peace, guys. Calm and peace. It's beautiful. Please, calm and peace.
The way you see the world.
It does change how you see you.
And the way you make decisions. To me, self-care is the action you take to address your own experience.
Physical, spiritual, emotional, or mental. True.
Address being the key word. Meaning, if you identify that you're having a difficult time with something, you're able to address it by asking yourself, what is on the opposite end of this difficult situation I'm experiencing? What would bring me back to a sense of wholeness and peace? Exercising this muscle.
Learning the secret of karma, learning the secret of cause and effect, one of the most important parts of enlightenment, knowing that this causes that, and essentially everything causes suffering, but whatever. You don't have to sneak in all of it. We don't want to get too deep in here. We want to sneak you over to the side of it.
To be intuitive with yourself only brings you into alignment with who you actually are.
Yes.
This is exactly why I put a really strong line between self-care and self-maintenance. Using self-maintenance practices like doing your eyebrows, getting a pedicure, those are ways to maintain the way you look, but that is not a way to heal or address the way you feel necessarily. Although those things can feel great, this video is going to show you how to truly self-care and bring yourself into a space of healing and well-being. I think so much of this is about acceptance and habits and understanding yourself and then accepting yourself again and again. And I'm going to show you this because I truly believe that self-care is a pillar and a foundation for self-confidence.
True.
And while I used to think like stuff was going to make me happy, I really realized that you could have all the stuff in place. You could have everything that you think is a great foundation for a happy life. But if you never had a self-care strategy or you remove it, everything can come crashing down.
Oh my gosh, if you never had a self-care strategy or you remove it, everything falls apart. All of the foundation falls apart. That is the foundation. If you take that away, everything falls apart. All of the cute stuff that you put on top of it falls apart. In fact, there's a thing that we've been talking about. If you don't have practice being satisfied or being happy, you'll never be able to do it. How can you do something if you don't practice doing it? Think about it. How much practice do you have looking for more? How much practice do you have wanting and buying and thinking and all that nonsense? How much practice do you have sitting down and enjoying life? Try it. And that'll be a foundational pillar for your self-care routine. And once you get rid of that, everything falls apart.
This video comes in 3 chapters, so stick around for all of them. And
Power
thumbs up this video if you enjoy it, but thumbs down if you don't. I'd like to know.
She's telling me already to thumbs it up. I already like it. Yes, you're getting a thumbs up. Absolutely.
Either way, Let's get into the video.
Also, she's asking for a thumbs down too, knowing that YouTube doesn't care, it just wants engagement. Up or down doesn't matter. Remember, good, bad, judgments don't matter. This is a non-dual world, baby. Non-duality here. Engage, that's all that matters.
Chapter 1. I used to look at self-care as something that needed to look a certain way. It needed to look like spa-like, or it needed to look relaxing. It was all about taking a pause and like pampering myself into feeling better. Now, there are so many classic self-care practices we can all think of without even trying, like putting cucumbers on your eyes or taking a bath, a massage. And
I never understood the cucumber on the eye thing. What does that even do?
Not to say that these things aren't amazing and relaxing. However, I've learned that the best kind of self-care doesn't always look so self-care-y. It's more important to me, the small changes I make on an everyday basis and how I live my life. Now, this first section is about psychological self-care.
Self-care, and she shows pictures of you cleaning your room, cleaning your dishes, cleaning your bathroom. These are foundational for self-care. You want to have a clean area. Remember, what's the boundary between your mind and the space around you? Or I guess the mind and body, and then the body and the space, and so on and so forth. Where's the boundary? Where's the boundary? It's not here. Not here, boys. All of it, man, all of it. You keep everything clean because that helps in the mind and the things, and it's great and it's fantastic, and it's all a very important part of the self-care. Yes.
This is all about improving or preserving mental and emotional health. This section is going to encourage you to adjust your perspective inside and have that work for you in the day-to-day. So we're going to be looking at psychological tips that help you feel better so you don't necessarily feel the need to escape later.
Very nice.
Self-care into the way that we live our lives.
Very nice.
Number
this
one,
is so good.
The mask we wear. This really felt like a lifestyle change.
The mask we wear, What? Guys, take off the mask. It's all a lie, everything. It's all fake. You might think there's a reason why we call this stream fakery. It's all a lie. Take off the mask, and what do you see beneath it?
Yeah, I would go through stuff, like I'd go through heavy stuff, a ton of anxiety, or I'd be experiencing depression for more than a week. I really trained myself out of showing this to the world. They would ask, how are you? Oh, I'm good. How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Look at that.
I'm okay. How are you?
Aww.
I wasn't actually.
Guys, how are you? Like, seriously. Talk to your friends and tell them how you are.
Okay.
Seriously.
And I never felt like I could share that with people. And even when I had some high moments and felt really good, I didn't really want to be over the top. So I never answered authentically. It was like my brain was like a computer, and it is like a computer. And I used it like that. I just kept pressing the same button. And not only does that kind of put you on autopilot, it doesn't help you with your happiness, but it creates a more insidious problem where every time you do that and you split your experience is worthy of being seen, and then you hide away what you're really experiencing. You're telling yourself that you're not worthy of like showing up in the world. And that has some really big consequences.
It has some really big consequences. Did you hear this? Look at this beautiful visual here, right? When you are sad on the inside and you do happy on the outside, you disregard your actual feelings. You push them even lower, and it makes it worse, harder to address. Do you know where else this applies? When people are being sarcastic, when people are making jokes, you are splitting what you think and what you are saying, right? You want this harmony there. There is always harmony there. And when you have this discordant harmony between what you're thinking and what you're doing and what you're saying and what you're feeling, and there's this sarcasm and there's these jokes and it's just funny, blah, 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 blah. It destroys your mental health. It completely destroys your mental health. Listen to this lady here. Great Zen master. Amazing. Alexandra, thank you.
Seen, and then you hide away what you're really experiencing.
Don't hide.
You're telling yourself that you're not worthy of like showing up in
the
world.
You are worthy, boy.
And that has some really big consequences.
It does.
Thumbs up if you're enjoying the video so far.
I am. I can't thumbs up too many times.
This is probably one of the best starting points for somebody. Like if you're like, you never really take care of yourself. You never put yourself first. You don't really speak up for yourself. All of these things. I mean, I've been there. That's not a cue to judge yourself. Including yourself in your conversations. That is probably one of the best ways just to get started in the space of really aligning with who you are out loud, becoming your full version of yourself out loud and showing that to the world. And this is very important as you become a woman, that you start to do this more and more until you're at a point where that's all you do. Start looking at yourself as the star of the show. You're going to become self-aware of your needs and become more kind with yourself, more gentle. And this is going to allow you to create self-directed change, not to feel trapped, not to feel like you can't achieve things, to start feeling like you are the person who is going to be there for you. Because realistically, that's true. Don't wait for other people to make you happen. That's what you're going to do for yourself.
True.
Now, I remember one of the first days when I decided, okay, I'm not going to wear a mask anymore. I'm not going to answer fake when somebody asks. I'm just going to say how I feel. One day I went into this fancy store. And it's like, you know what I mean when I say fancy? It's like one of those stores where you kind of like feel like you have to act or a certain way or something. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? One of the sales associates remembered me because I bought something there like a season ago. And he was like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to do that thing where I just say good, because I was actually going through a lot. And I said, oh my God, like, well, I've actually been dealing with a lot lately. I've been like dealing with some mental health stuff, and today I'm like out for the first time. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. And he actually ended up sharing that he had his own mental health struggles. And I thought it was so funny. Here I was in this store where normally I'd be really nervous or at least self-conscious. And here I was talking with an associate about mental health. And right away,
having
I really
a real
learned
connection.
the value
How
of,
about
like,
that?
authentically expressing myself. I want to know if you guys comment below. Tell me if you think you wear a mask and why. And no, I don't mean the pandemic one. Number 2, common inputs. Now, this next one's all about common inputs. We essentially are always feeding our brain stuff, whether we think we are or not, whether it's media, imaging, literature, people, friends.
We're always feeding our brain stuff. Good God. Good God. Be careful of the media that you consume. Please make sure that it's wholesome. Please.
Opinions from people. That's a big one. Now, it's super simple. I'm going to use Instagram as my example. And before we go on my phone, I just want to show you, I always keep my phone really warm because it helps me have a better sleep at night, which is absolutely key in feeling my best.
Jesus.
Sponsored by Your Local Sleep.
Jesus, she's hitting all the points, man. All the points. Guys, sleep is so important. And, changing the colors on your phone, that helps a lot. There was a time when I used to have my phone in black and white. I don't do that anymore. It makes it less likely for you to get on it and easier to stay away from it. All these kind of things. There's little tips, man. Little tips. You want to be sure you can, all these things that affect your life, you want to be aware of them. So that you can control them.
Okay, Your Local Sleep. Okay, social media check-in. That's what we're doing here today because my common input is my Instagram feed. Mm-hmm. Whether I like it or not, every time I go on my Instagram, I'm feeding myself some messaging, and I've become more and more aware of that. So here's what I do. I'm going to keep an objective eye, meaning I'm not going to get caught up or distracted, and I'm going to take...
Should I be concerned about what she scrolls by on her Instagram? I'm a little... Okay.
Take a look at my feed.
Yeah.
Everything that I look at needs to make me feel safe, capable, and confident.
Interesting.
And if I notice anything doesn't, it's not an opportunity to judge somebody or think that somebody is bad. It's about figuring out and tailoring what I want to achieve in my own sense of self or even in my life, and tailoring my inputs so that they support the ecosystem of my mind.
Safe, comfortable, confident. Guys, remember that. You want to be safe, you want to be comfortable, you want to be confident, especially in your own mind. Where is Instagram happening? In your head, man. You're looking at it and it's downloading directly into your brain. You want to be safe, you want to be confident, you want to be comfortable. Definitely. Absolutely.
This is where I really observe myself holding in two hands, two completely different feelings. On one side, I'm really happy for somebody and I think they're so cool and I love following them. But on the other hand, I'm working on some body stuff and feeling good in my own skin, and seeing other people in swimwear might be really sensitive for me.
Interesting.
So I'm going to choose myself and I'm going to step away from the things.
Sensitive for some of us too, different reasons I'm sure, but yes.
Don't create that ecosystem that I need. One unexpected way that this looks for me is like being marketed to by my favorite brand when I'm trying to save money doesn't work. It doesn't line up for me.
It doesn't.
So I might even unfollow brands that I love or people that I really love just because of what I'm working on in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to tailor any inputs that you have builds resilience and helps you make an informed design on how your future is going to look. Number 3.
Speaking of making money, it's ad time, boys. Are you subscribed for September? Have you been subscribed? Well, if you aren't, you're getting some ads. And if you are, then hey, we're all good. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? And that's nice because we get the pre-rolls off. People can join us. If you're lurking, hey, what's up? I'm glad you're here. If you're following and you're not subbed, what are you doing? I'm bringing some content here, boys. Hit me with a sub, especially if you got Twitch Prime. Come on. Don't play video while ads. Okay, that is a good suggestion. Hey, how's everyone doing? I guess we just chill out for 3 minutes. Maybe I should have clicked the 1 minute one. Whatever, we'll do 3 minutes. Hey, what's going on, guys? How are you? You enjoying the video? This beautiful Zen master telling us all of these things, taking care of our sleep, taking care of the things that are being input into our minds, making sure that we have a harmony between our actions and our thoughts. Remember all these things, you know, it's all fantastic. It's all good. Why is it that the man of great strength does not, I don't even remember the freaking koan. What is it that the man of great strength does not, what is it? Walk with his legs? Is that what it is? Anyway, who cares? All right, ridiculous koan, something about harmony, it doesn't matter. Why am I so hyped today? Man, I'm just feeling good, bro. Just feeling good. Can I feel good? I feel good. You feel good? I feel good. Straight up good. Drinking some of that. Cause and effect. True. Gotta learn the secret of karma. What is causing me? Tiny Sage, hello, welcome, how are you? We're doing some beauty stuff today. We're learning from the great Zen masters of YouTube, who generally happen to be also beauty models. Is that? I feel like that was such a weird term to use. Beauty models? They're just, they're models. Are they models? They're YouTubers who just happen to be cute and talking about self-care and being cute and stuff. Hey, what's up? I hope you've been well. I haven't seen you in a while. Hey. I don't know why I'm so hyper. Also, sneaky, you're saying hello while I'm running ads. Do you have ad block on? Do you, right now, you have the audacity to come to the stream with ad block on? What? You aren't subbed here? How are you doing that? Do you have Twitch Nitro or whatever the heck that is to get rid of? Of course not, you don't. How is it that you don't see ads? You come, you don't support. You come, you don't support me, man. We're supposed to be in this together, okay? I bring you content, you bring me support, okay? Support your favorite streamers, please. I do no drug, I do drink. Tea, just tea, guys, just tea. All right, ads over. Hey guys, welcome back. For all the people who are watching the ads, we are continuing Alexandra Girly Talk, womanly. Let's learn more about self-care, guys. Take care of yourselves, please.
Stress and anxiety. Now, let me tell you a little story about one of my deficiencies, or at least how I used to see it. I would look around my house and I would look and see the mess and the dirt and like all of the, I mean, it wasn't just disorganized, it was also dirty because I wasn't great at cleaning. I didn't take time to do that and things would like build up and stress me out. Now, regardless of what I told myself, it's not like I didn't have any time to clean it because I was always doing stuff that was like just a leisurely thing, like going through Instagram, which also kind of proved to double down on my problem because I would go on there and I'd see like everybody and their mom and like their mom's organizer with like this amazing clean house, and I was like, oh my god, I'm the only person So let's stop right here,
it
because
is
this is
heroin,
where I
dude.
saw
It
myself
is.
having a problem, and I used to see it like that and just kind of beat myself up for not solving my problem.
Yep.
And it would make me feel horrible.
Yep.
But then I realized there's more than just a problem when we deal with challenges that feel this crippling.
Oh.
Welcome to the caretaking system. This is a system I use to understand and address problems based on what's actually happening. This might change your life, okay? Because when you start realizing that you're dealing with a problem, your emotions as a result of the problem, and if the problem is left long enough, you might even form a painful belief about yourself. And we've all experienced this before, because we understand what it's like at this exact moment when you start telling yourself there's no point in having nice things, or I wish I was like so-and-so. The problem here is that this is just a result of strong emotions. When we melt away the problem, let's just put the problem to the side. We can address the emotions and therefore clear up the beliefs about ourselves.
This is so amazing, guys. This is so amazing. Remember, you can be happy in any situation. You just have to learn how to detangle the actual thing that's happening, your reaction to that thing, and then the habits that you build that sort of contribute to that reaction to the thing. What she's saying right here, there's an event, there's an emotion, and there are beliefs that are built upon it. Guys, listen to this lady, please.
That were ultimately painful before we did this. And by doing this, you put yourself back in a headspace where it's easy to clean the house, or it's easy to solve that problem. You become self-actualized because your head is in the right place.
Self-actualized?
Step
what
one,
the heck?
Be your own
Can't
best
just
friend.
throw it out there, can you?
To you. Not because it's nice, but because it's the right thing to do.
Oh my God,
We're gonna talk more about negative self-talk in this video, but I just want to say, like, for me, I was so hard on myself, and I actually thought that was a good thing.
Be kind to yourself, guys.
That basically anything that happened, whether it was good or bad, I would use it as a way to overwhelm myself with really abusive internal dialogue. And I didn't really like that. And what I found was that the only way I could actually feel good was for me to do or eat things that I couldn't deny were good feelings.
You cannot find happiness at the bottom of an ice cream cone. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
For me to have, you know, like I couldn't deny that a dessert or something delicious felt so good. And so because I was having such a hard time in my head, this was my refuge, you know, emotionally. And I didn't really like that was the way I was living, because I do deserve to feel good inside, and so do you. So remind yourself gently again and again to be kind to yourself.
Yeah, dessert for breakfast? Why is there so much chocolate on the pancakes? What's the point of the pancake? It's like buttery chocolate. What is going on here? That's not how people eat pancakes, is it? There's no way. You don't put that much chocolate on your pancakes. Never. I mean, pancakes are already dessert, but Jesus. Okay, sorry,
Period.
Don't mean to judge
Point
so much.
blank.
Sorry.
No excuses.
Excuse me.
Step 2 is all about recognizing who you actually are.
Yes.
Challenging the beliefs you have about yourself. Now, this is how I see it, okay? When you were younger, we see ourselves a very specific way. And I draw a circle because you're whole. And you sense that when you were young. You're just like this whole being. You know, you intrinsically know that you're worthy. You intrinsically know that you're deserving and that you are loved. And you know you have purpose. You don't need to contemplate these things. You don't even try to think about them. You just live it, you feel it, you know it when you're young.
True. Also, not everybody. Some people have less privileged backgrounds. You know, we feel for you too. But still, yeah, like whoa. When you're kids, man, you love life. You've got purpose with every little action that you do. It's in the moment. It's in the single moment. You're living your moment, the best moment. Every single moment. It's just there. It's always there, and you're fully there. Always. You're whole, man. You're whole. You're present. You're loving. And you've got purpose. It's beautiful.
But then you hit 7, 8, 9, puberty, and you start to develop the ego and this kind of idea of who you are. Rather than just feeling who you are, you start to think about who you are. And you do start out as whole in your own head until things start to happen.
What happens?
Right? The world shows you a little bit more about what's acceptable and what's not. And things might happen. For example,
other
you might
people's
get
opinions,
a
is that what
bad
you're telling
grade
me?
in school in math.
Bad grades,
and next thing you know, you're whole, but you're really bad at math. Or you have an embarrassing situation and you carve out these little sections of yourself where you think that you're good, but these things are really bad. And you see these deficiencies in yourself.
Yep.
The truth is, no matter where you're at in life, no matter what you feel about yourself, the truth is you are actually still that person that you sensed when you were a child. You're still whole, worthy, full of purpose, and purely deserving of love.
Fundamentally, we are all the Buddha, no matter what you think are defilements. So no matter what you think are these flaws and things that you need to improve. No, you are already there, guys. Pay attention to this lady.
All of my problems took a different tone for me when I realized that I was worthy and that there wasn't actually anything wrong with me for being imperfect. And so while step 1 and step 2 can be an instantaneous understanding of yourself that shifts your internal state, step 3 is something I do consistently, and this is a practical thing that takes a little bit of time. I find a way to live below my ears. And that's because most of my life I spend in my head, right? Above my ears.
Yeah.
And so getting into my body, feeling that through a workout or dancing taking a bath and really just stepping into my own physical experience, moving into my body, really helps me to realize that I am not my problems. In order to do this, you need to feel into your muscles, your fingers, your toes, the smells, and everything around you. And this puts distance between your anxiety and the reality you experience while you do this. I'm going to dive into this in chapter 3. Rather than just trying not to do something, replacing negative self-talk with self-love is exactly what the caretaking system is designed for.
Yeah, she's explaining different types of meditation techniques very slyly. Obviously, she's the Buddha in disguise. We all know. We can see it. It's a poor disguise, Buddha. We can see you for who you are. I can see your tricks. All right, I can see your tricks. You're trying to teach people meditation. Trying to teach people to get into their body, get away from their mind. I can see it. All right, we don't have to hide behind it. We all hear us. We can keep the secret. All right, just us. We know what she's doing. Sid. Yes, these are all just cool meditation techniques, guys, and you got to pay attention to that stuff. You got to do this stuff because when you just start doing these things, you just live your life in a much better way. You get away from your conceptions and your judgments, and you get closer to reality. Send a video.
While you're watching this, leave a comment below and let me know how you think you could be more kind with yourself.
Boys, how can we be more kind with ourselves? We're doing it right now. She asked for the comment. We're giving her the comment, all right? She gives us the good content. We support her. What do we do to be more kind to ourselves? I think we sleep well. I don't want to push it home to my say the things that I always say. Take care of my sleep schedule and eat well, and these are ways to be kind to myself. Maybe we can just keep going with it. But anyway, you guys have any ideas? What do you think? What do you think, boys? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? How can we? How do we? What do we? Okay. Oh, all right. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Oh, wow. Okay. I like to start my day with a focused on a lovely cup of tea. To be kind. I'll put to be kind. To be. This is so silly, right? To be. No one's gonna understand. They aren't gonna get it, guys. They aren't gonna get it. They don't get it, all right? No one's gonna get it. Why would I comment this? No one's gonna get it. No one's gonna understand what I mean by it. This doesn't make any sense. We're gonna say it no less. To be kind to myself, I like to start my day focused on a lovely cup of tea. Heart smiley. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Continuing.
Stay tuned for chapter 2.
Oh yeah, we're ready for chapter 2.
This is exactly why I said in the beginning, self-care doesn't have to look a certain way. It just has to be effective. I think the cool
just has to be
thing
effective
for me is like turning escapism or like my desire to just escape from things into me actually just addressing things in a way that feels good right away. And that's what this chapter was all about.
Okay.
Chapter 2, future-focused self-care.
Future.
I'm going to show you an example to explain this.
Future focus. Remember, you want to have karmically neutral things that happen. You don't want to give yourself some good self-care in the moment, but it's karmically negative, making bad impacts in the future, putting you back into the same spot you are in, or even farther back. Future
and this is
focus.
Because this is all around planning, but you could use future focused self-care for anything. I use it for my period, for example.
Okay.
Like a day before I know it's on the way.
Any period havers in the chat? I think there's a stark lack of estrogen in this stream. No less, we'll continue. We'll learn about some periods.
And I go into my underneath cupboard, get my water wipes, dusting powder, and tampons. Anything that I know I need, I just take 3 seconds and think about all of the items and the rough amount I think I'll need for my entire period. All of these items are going to go neatly stored next to the area where it's visible. And if you share a bathroom with somebody, feel free to put these in a nice little cubby that is private. I also really wanted to show you guys these things. It's not really something I use every time, but if I was on the go, I would bring these out as well. This is so cute. It's like a little bag. And it has everything you need if you have a leak. So you get a thong that's actually a good quality one. You get a pH balanced feminine wipe and then a panty liner. And the bag that it all comes in is like a wash me bag. So you're supposed to put your underwear in there and it's completely sealed and fresh so you can just keep your underwear until later. I love that so much. It's so good.
So much you got to think about, guys. If you have a little leak, you got a little leak. Sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes you're prepared, but then sometimes you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. So you got to be prepared for all that stuff too. Expect the unexpected. And once that happens, you got your little extra baggie to put in the stuff that's, you got a little leak, But then you've got all the extra tools that you want. You get the little wipe, you got the little extra boop, the boop, the boop, the boop. Yeah, okay.
But I don't always use it. I do use these items and I keep them nicely stacked for my future self who's very much going to use them every single time I go to the bathroom. You
gotta be ready. You gotta prepare for your future self. Have you ever been nice to your future self? Be nice to your future self. Hey, I know what you would like in the future. I know what you could use in the future. Let me get it for you. Ah, how cool.
So you can see here, this is like a way of taking a little bit of time to consider your future self.
True.
Making a small change based on that consideration. It's going to leave a future you very pleased.
That's so nice.
Feeling taken care of.
You deserve to be taken care of.
So take a second to think about what's like an area of your life that you could do something for the future version of yourself. Because you're already doing things that you would normally need to do later, it helps you become more organized. And for me, becoming more organized is always something I'm interested in because it's not really my strong point. But what's more important when it comes to self-care is doing anything that's future oriented it gives the tone of your self-care a very mothering energy. It's like you're mothering yourself because you're taking care of a future version of yourself. And I really think that can be super healing for a number of reasons.
Remember, the future self is always being born in the moment. And when you take care of yourself in the future, it's a little baby. They're just being born there. You're just freshly conscious and it's like, welcome to the world. Whoa, somebody gave me tampons and wet wipes and all the other stuff that you need for these things. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Who was this? Who did this to me? Who did this for me? What was your face before your parents were born? Oh, you did it to me. Thank you very much. So nice of you. You. Thank you so much. I'm a little baby and new in this world.
So you can start to identify like your own
That mothering
caretaking
energy.
program just by seeing how you live your life. For me, I started to notice little patterns in my life where I could step in and do this. And for example, tonight is a great example. I have this pattern all the time. I make a plan, I go out, I have a fun night, but I'm super tired and I don't want to do my skincare when I get home.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to take 30 seconds. It doesn't really take long, but I'm going to consider that future version of myself, that future version that's super tired and doesn't want to take off her makeup. And I'm going to put everything out so that when I come back at night, I just see it there and I'm like, oh, wonderful.
It's right
and
there.
That feels
That's
so
right
good,
there.
even though it's so simple.
It's so simple, right? That little bit of friction always, I mean, we don't even, this is a tiny bit of friction. That's all that you need. That little excuse to just divert you off the path completely. But if you prepare yourself, put the little wet wipes or whatever, I don't know what things people use to get rid of makeup, but you do that things, you put your skincare things on the counter so that they're ready. You pull out your floss. You guys floss at night? You make sure that's on your counter so you can see it when you walk into your bathroom. You see it right there. It's right there. It's looking at you, staring at you. It's like, bro, use me, bro. Use me, bro. Use me, bro. Or girl, whoever. I don't know who your guys are. Non-binary. NB pal, whatever. It's like, hey, use me, and you're like, okay, I'll use you. Whatever sounds floss makes, and you good, because you've taken care of yourself. You put it out in the world, and it's there. That's what you want. It to be ready for you. Use
I'm
me.
also going to put my pajamas there. And this every time makes me feel so
and
good
the pajamas.
because I always
and
feel
the jammies.
supported by myself. And I
want to comment. Very good. Skincare, very important. You got to do it every single night. Also, do not encourage staying out late. Just want to throw it out there. I'm not saying anything's bad with it. Just want to throw it out there. Sleep is more important than parties. Just want to throw it out there. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. All right. I'm
always end up taking off my makeup, which is great.
Great. Yeah.
Now I connect this kind of future-focused self-care on a bigger scale too, because money has always been something that can give me a lot of anxiety. And I always was inclined, if I got any, doesn't even matter how much, if I got money, I was inclined to spend it on things that I wanted to spend it on. But that would leave me in a position where, I needed some self-care because I would be stressed. I would only have a little bit to humbly offer towards my responsibilities. And I've switched it around where I take care of all of my responsibilities financially before I even consider if I can use my money as a self-care tool. And also
amazing. It's so great, right? If you take care of your responsibilities first, then you don't have anxiety when you're doing other things, right? You don't have to hide away from your whatever feelings that you have, because sometimes you're doing things just to get away from your feelings, but you never address the problem. Address the problems first, and then once you actually do the things that you like to do, you can actually enjoy them instead of being worried about all the other stuff in the meantime.
Ultimately, I found that being responsible with my money is self-care.
Yes.
This is the kind of self-care that shapes your future. It helps you make an informed design on where your life is going. So you want to be able to ask yourself, what would benefit me in a minute, in a day, in 3 weeks, in 3 years? And put your energy into actively supporting the person you want to become. Bonus! Before we go into the next chapter, I'm going to show you my self-care favorites. These are the items that I use for my self-care routine that are not beauty related. They're not aesthetic related. They're like completely...
Was that a singing bowl?
My self-care routine that
is that an incense?
Or not...
Is homie actually a Buddhist?
Beauty related. They're not aesthetic related. They're like completely self-care related. And I'm starting with these incense sticks. All of these items, including these little sticks that you light the end of, and you put them in this little holder. This is something just like the other items that grounds you and helps you feel really calm. This smells divine. And I really like having this running while I'm in the house. This next item is a heavy weighted blanket, and I'll totally sleep with this.
That's the next level, guys. Top tier, next level sleeping things. I don't have a weighted blanket even myself. That's high level things. Weighted blankets.
But I'll also use this for meditation when I just need to come into my body and completely relax without anxiety. This is awesome. And I also have
I don't gotta say anything about it. I don't gotta say it. I don't gotta say it.
I have a Zoom call or like,
right? I don't gotta say it.
Bring this to a meeting.
You heard it
herself.
Now
that I do meetings on the phone, I always wear this. Nobody can see that I'm wearing it, but it completely calms me while I'm having conversations with people who would.
Is she drinking tea also? Do I spot a teapot?
And I'm wearing it, but it completely calms me while I'm having conversations with people who would normally give me anxiety. I started meditating and I do that on the daily.
On the daily, baby, on the daily.
I'm doing it, so I use this weighted jade eye mask. It's very heavy, very calming. It's made of jade stone, so it's beautiful, but it is really good for beginners.
Invite her to the stream.
Meditation. And I'll be showing you more about my practice in the next chapter.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to hear her practice.
Medicine bowl, the bowl that makes a sound when you hit it with the stick. This is divine. There's such a rich ancient history, and sound has been used to heal people energetically for a very long time. I'm not an expert on it, but I own this, and I play the sound, and I try to tune into whatever it can offer, which I can't quite put my finger on.
I see.
And lastly, I own a few high-quality crystals that I keep.
Did you guys think that was a crystal, or did you guys have other thoughts? Did you guys have other thoughts? I had other thoughts immediately. I mean, I'm okay. We'll hold those thoughts to ourselves. Well, we can recognize, we can see that we have thoughts sometimes, and we can allow them to pass by. It's crystals, rose quartz. It represents love. It's beautiful. It's great.
And I really enjoy. I don't use them.
Only me.
Rose quartz is
only
one
me.
Of them. It's meant to bring love and warm the heart. It's a love stone, which I love.
It's a love
and
stone.
Black obsidian, which collects negative energy into the stone.
You didn't have any of that. Okay.
So
it was just me. I didn't even say. Excuse
stone,
me.
As it collects negative energy, it needs to be cleansed and rid of all of that.
Very nice.
So I under fresh water, as I do with all of these. This one is awesome. It increases creativity and helps with stamina, so I keep this next to my desk.
Very cool, very cool.
Chapter 3.
Crystals going.
Now, before self-care world, I essentially was like a professional at being hard on myself. And I have a running dialogue like 150% of the time, so I use rituals to train that running dialogue to become a lot less negative. So I have a technique that I use for all
practice.
Of these, and that is
How
to
about
observe
that?
negative self-talk, and rather than analyze it or try to make something of it, I just gently refocus my attention when I notice it happening, back on breathing and back on whatever ritual that I'm doing at that time. Now, I have 3 that are my favorites. I'm going to show them to you now. The first thing I'm going to do is make a face mask, because I like to do something that's kind of grounding and helps cue myself into the headspace that we're taking time for ourselves. So if you want to make something like a face mask or clean your space, tidy up the area you're going to be spending time in, this is a really good way to just slow down inside. I find skincare so fascinating.
Yeah.
And I think it's an interesting like mixture between self-maintenance and
You put a strawberry and a pestle and mortar? How's that? I guess for face mask.
Because I find caring for my skin to be a very healing thing to do. So this is really enjoyable for me. I'm using strawberries because they have acids in them. And those acids break the bond between old cells and new cells. And that is so cool, because when you have old dark spots after a pimple, you want to move along the process so that your skin can renew. And that's exactly what this ingredient does. So you want to mix these up fresh. And as I'm doing this, I'm just going to make sure my tub is running. And then I'm going to put my next ingredient, which is some Greek yogurt.
Ooh.
This is such a delicious mask, and I always eat whatever's
yummy.
Awesome.
I think yummy is appropriate here, right? Yummy is appropriate. This face mask is yummy. This is skincare, yes. Remember, if it's on your skin, it's going to be absorbed through the face, through the skin, and go into the bloodstream. Everything that you put on your face and your skin should be edible. Edible things on your face and skin, unless you're washing it off. That's okay if you're washing it off. For example, soap, not edible. Don't eat your soap. Everything else that you put on your skin should be edible. Yes, if you're putting it on long term, it needs to be edible. It is being absorbed into your bloodstream. So she's using yogurt and she's using strawberries. This is a yummy combination. Yum. Yes. This is skincare.
And these two ingredients are both, of course, for the resurfacing, but also hydrating and good for oily skin.
Also, healthy foods is good for skincare too.
One thing to note if you're trying or you're new to face masks and skincare in general, skincare, this face mask, any face mask, never isn't meant to just be a one-time.
I mean, you know, I would too.
Time fixes everything. It needs to be repeatedly done over and over again, diligently, in order for you to see good results.
So not a one-time thing. How about that? You got to use it over and over again for good results. How about that? And maybe it's not just a thing that you do when you have a problem. How about that? You just do it all the time. How about that? Wow, what a thought. What a thought. You take care of yourself at all times. Wow.
So this is something I would do regularly, whether it's this mask or another one. It's about consistency.
It looks yummy.
I'm using a skin brush to...
Also, she said consistency while she was doing that, and the consistency was just oh my goodness.
Apply this. And as I start to do this self-care, I'm again reminding myself gently, over and over, not to think about what I'm gonna wear tomorrow or that thing that I didn't get done and start making...
Hold on. We've been like gushing over this lady. Did she just say tomorrow? Is this a Canadian? Wait a second.
I'm gonna wear tomorrow or...
Tomorrow? What in the heck? That is completely unacceptable. Has she been a secret Canadian this whole time? Wait a second. One more.
Over and over. Not to think about what I'm gonna wear tomorrow or...
What in the... I feel betrayed. I thought this lady was a Buddha. Does a Canadian have Buddha nature?
That thing that I didn't get done and start making a mental commentary on why and what that means about me, and really letting my mind run is not what I'm aiming to do. So anytime I notice that as I'm applying the mask, my mind starts to drift into commentary, I remind myself that this is not a time for commentary. This is not a time to be judging myself.
I don't judge the Canadians.
Commentary on anything other than the sensations in my body. Now, I mentioned earlier, being able to fall into your body is a skill. It's not something that you
So it's a good idea. Like, she's like brushing stuff on her face. You can feel the bristles. And just remind yourself to be in your body, not in the mind.
Know how to do. You might think that taking a 40-minute bath is doing that, but if you don't actually spend time with physical awareness and you spend time in your head exclusively, you could argue that you weren't actually able to do that successfully. Now, it's a muscle. We exercise it and we get better at it. And as we get better at it, our intuition increases because we can sense what's happening inside. So I really like to take all of the most simple things and turn it into a presence practice. I like to use scrubs in the bath and things that just feel really tactile and just note, like, what does it feel like to have little grains going across your legs and massaging your hands? What does that feel like? These are all practices that make you more aware. And I think it's the real practice of putting distance between whatever difficult thing you're experiencing and just being in your body, which is usually a much calmer place than it seems when you combine it with like a bunch of different things that you're thinking. So as I'm taking this bath, I might start, my mind might start to wander about things and it might start to get into a negative headspace. So I just breathe right into that and I come back to a place of stillness and simplicity. So that's so much different than just taking a bath, of course. And I will just, stay in this bath for as long as it is comfortable. And now I'm going to take off this mask, which looks crazy.
Beautiful. Okay, I want to pause now. I just want to take a second, guys. So let's remember, it's no duck. Why no duck? Why no duck? It's always strange to me to see people are being comfortable in their own spaces. And we have to remember these sort of things. I'm seeing the Monka S's in the chat. I'm seeing them. We want to be aware that for some parts of the population, we read a situation in very different ways than other parts of the population. She's just being comfortable in her own bathtub with no implications or you know what I'm trying to say here. She's not doing anything. and it might read in a very different way to different people, and we just want to be aware of that this discrepancy. Yep. Yeah, you get it, chat. Like, we just want to be aware of that discrepancy, all right? People are just being comfortable, all right? And just because you think of it in a certain way, it doesn't mean that other people think of it in that same way. They aren't trying to do anything to you. It's not the thing that you see. You didn't even try to look at it. Yeah, of course. Nobody tried to look at it. I mean, we all knew that it was going to be safe. I knew it was going to be safe. It's on YouTube, which is a very popular channel. So we knew it was okay. But I just wanted to, point it out here. I know we're all guys, but it needs to be said, because sometimes this thing is not obvious. I mean, we see things and we say, all these women are purposefully doing things to trick men, or to do things to like seduce or whatever, or get attention from, and all this stuff. And it's it needs to be explicitly said when something like that happens, and it's like she's actually just being comfortable, and whatever you're reading into it is not anything that has to do with her, right? I keep stopping the video and making further remarks and nobody was even all right, well, I'm talking to myself here, all right? I'm talking to myself, trying to tell myself to make sure that I understand, that it's still very, like, for me, every time I see an ASMR video, I'm just so confused. Like, really, I'm just so confused. I'm so, like, I'm like, do you really not? I mean, anyway. I didn't realize Pokimane has a whole channel. I thought it was just that one video. Nope, a whole channel. Whole new world that I've discovered. I'm not gonna get into it right now. Anyway, continuing the video.
Dries. But this is such a refreshing one, and it's really nice because it resurfaces the skin over time. Okay, now I'm gonna show you something pretty cool. I really like this, especially coming into fall. You could do this with cinnamon or like rosemary or citrus oranges, different things. But I'm gonna be using lemon, mint, and some roses. This is so delicious. It's like making an aromatherapy scent for your home using real food and things.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna take a big pot of water. You need like something that's relatively large, and I'm gonna fill it with water and put this onto the stove.
Okay. Oh, give me those sounds. Give me that boiling water. Yeah.
I'll leave a few different recipes
relaxing.
and different combinations in the description below, and you can make this potpourri and just be reminded constantly throughout the day as you smell it in the home that it was something you did for your space that's going to make you feel calm and amazing, and it just smells divine.
It smells divine. I can smell it from here. You call that a spa? Is that what you're referring to? A spa? Get that skincare treatment at a spa? You make these potpourris. Potpourri? Is there a difference between what is a pot? Did she say potpourri? She said a potpourri. Is that a thing? That was potpourri. Anyway, beautiful. Relaxing. Just a reminder to relax and that you want to relax. Oh yeah.
So I mentioned earlier that I do meditation every day. I do. I find that this is something, it was like, I don't know, how do you say? It's like mental hygiene. Rather than looking at meditation like you can...
It's like mental hygiene. You got to floss every single day. Man, meditation makes life possible. Seriously. You want to get strawberries and Greek yogurt, man. Yeah, definitely. You be flossing, that's good. Hopefully everybody's in chat is flossing and meditating.
Just do it if you feel like it. I look at it as like, this is something you have to do.
You must.
And I say that to me because I know that my mind is such a busy, chaotic place. And if I don't like theoretically clean it by taking time to be still and meditate, I'm really not providing myself with any opportunity to tidy up my mind.
Be here now, be free.
And like level up inside. Time of day is a really important key factor in all of your meditation trials and errors because it isn't something that is easy at first, at least for me. But I have a few techniques, and the first one is to get extremely comfortable. I prefer to lay down while I meditate.
Very nice,
and this
very nice.
is basically just me completely relaxing. So that means you have to like wiggle into the most comfortable position. Your first time meditating and coming all the way down, shifting out of thought and into deep breathing, or just breathing at all.
Breathing at all.
That is intense. That's sometimes the first time where you realize you never actually just live entirely in your body without a running commentary.
Too comfortable, you fall asleep.
Relaxation is not something that you press on or off. You're not doing it or you're not doing it. It's a scale, and you can deepen into that scale of relaxation by doing a body scan. So noticing if you're gripping yourself or holding your stomach in really tight, or you feel some tension in your breathing. Just breathe deep as you observe that and start to let go of that. You can find yourself in a space of extreme simplicity, where your whole body is completely still. I find even when I'm gently refocusing back on breathing, I still sometimes find myself coming out of my meditation with like the best insights and clarity. So I really enjoy this. And again, I do it every single day. Chapter 3 is really about deepening into your rituals and the things that you choose to do for self-care, and using it as a time to reframe your thinking and calm your body and mind. Well, we've talked a lot about peace, pain, anxiety, and depression, and feeling good.
The blindfold, the mask, the face mask was jade face mask. Weighted jade face mask. I should use this. Or eye mask? I'm not sure what it was called. Weighted jade. Weighted jade.
Good. Self-care has so many different faces, and it's a practice of honesty. So it's a very private matter between you, and I encourage you to choose yourself over and over again and nurture yourself
the way a person
who loves themselves
yourself
unconditionally would. I think it's huge that you're here and you watch this video. I think that's a really huge sign that you are on the journey of self-love. And I commend you for that, because that is not easy and it's not a given. But you are powerful.
All this validation is making me blush.
And I really love you. And just know that if you're going through hard times, you're never going to find something that turns the risk of having a hard time off. It's just part of being human. But I hope this video gave you some habits and ideas on how you can structure and create systems that are going to make it easier for you to come back to feeling good. Feel free to visit this video again and check out my other ones. I'll leave some cool ones in the description below. I love you again so much.
Thanks so much for the video. She's so sweet and nice. Giving us some high-level tips. What do we say, boys? What do we say? Thanks so much for sharing these amazing, no, I'm not going to say amazing, these beautiful tips. Absolutely love them all. Heart, smiley. What do you think? Yeah? Are these statements she made at the end limiting beliefs? I mean, yeah, everything's a limiting belief, right? Everything's a limiting belief. Any belief is a limiting belief. Yes. But yes. But she also said nice things, you know? Nice things. Not everybody's ready for the absolute void, I don't think. Very kind she is. Very, very nice. Amazing. Beautiful. Lovely. Okay. That's the comment. Thanks so much for sharing these beautiful tips. I absolutely love them all. Smiley, smiley, hearty. Beauty. Alright, we watched all our videos today, guys. We did it. Congratulations.